Beautiful bit of country, ain't it?
Better be a rich bit of country. For your sake.
The thing about gold hunting is, he likes to play hide and seek with you. Some days they might play nice, but mostly, they'd rather stay stuck in the mud than in your satchel.
I thought you said you were Geoffrey Brown, the best gold prospector in the state, you fool. I have increasing fees for my land to pay on the down low and a kid to feed. Have you even uncovered so much as a measly nugget?
Indeed I have. Many. And you're lucky I decided to spend a couple on this marvelous carriage you're riding right now. Hell, without it, you'd be traversing these lands by foot.
Spending on a quality warhorse would have been a smarter move, Geoffrey. Like an Arabian. I had one during my days as a gun for hire. Unfortunately, he passed. I loved that steed, almost as much as I did the missus.
Raymond, could you apprise me a tad more on your past? I recall most of what you told me in the saloon, but to be frank, I was more enthralled with my bottle of whiskey.
Why am I not the least bit surprised? I used to be a gun for hire, back out east, and a goddamn sharpshooter at that. They used to call me Dead-Eye Ray. To make a long and mundane story short, I met a fine woman along the way, had a kid, and made a nice bit of coin for them, pulling the trigger for whoever needed my services. I guess one day I got too ambitious and decided to work for the Kansas state government. Try to fatten up my wallet. I worked a few jobs for them. They assigned me and a few other paid guns to go clear out a patch of land occupied by this gang so they could make way for a new town. We rode for 2 days. When we had arrived on the land, we realized that we were being played. The hostile gang we were sent to drive out was a group of peaceful natives, I guess.
Natives? Huh. Don't sound like the friendliest bunch.
I've seen otherwise. They'll remain neutral unless you go to them looking for trouble. I managed to convince only one of my partners to leave them at peace, but all those other skinheads insisted that we were getting paid good money to clear them out. As much as that was true, money or lives.
An outlaw with a moral compass? Now I've seen it all.
That's probably because I was never an outlaw to begin with. After I refused to see the job through, guns went hot, and the blood of my friend and I ran cold. I imagine that the little rat squealed to Agent Monti, our employer, because by the next day my face was presented on every bounty board east of the Great Plains. I went straight to my family and tried getting them out of town, but my wife didn't make it. The local lawmen were hungry for the price on my head and tried to stop us from escaping.
Well, assuming your kid made it out unscathed, where is he now? Not with us, it seems.
You're about as sharp as a blade of grass. She is still at my cabin in Colorado with a fella I trust.
Sharp enough to carve out a life of luxury for myself. I need to run into the general store for a few things.
Just make sure all those supplies aren't booze.
Won't be long. Just don't shoot up the town in my absence.
Here, horse thief!
He stole your horse?
Did I not just yell that?
Right. Wait here. Stop, or you're dead.
All right.
Why'd you steal that lady's horse?
Why do you care so much? Stop! What are you doing?
I think it's only fair to let the owner of this fine steed decide what should become of filth like you.
Stop trying to play the big man. You don't fool me, you yellow-faced pig.
Here you are, ma'am. This is a fine animal. A Mustang, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you, sir. And yes, your eyes don't deceive you. But how can I repay you?
By telling me what to do with this good-for-nothing saddle sore?
I don't care. Take him to the sheriff. Kill him. It's up to you, mister. Thanks again.
Oh, partner. What am I supposed to do with you? To save myself the sweat carrying you back to the sheriff's office? I'm tempted to shoot you right here. Plus, I doubt there's a large price on your head. You seem like a small fry.
Look, friend. I have this map, which discloses the location of where the elusive man-munching bears live. You can collect a fair price for their pelt and pots. It's yours if you set me free.
No reason to not see if I can get some money for your hide.
You're a fool, mister. A fool.
I'm not the one hogtied and about to get dropped from the sheriff's desk, mister. Is there a going rate for horse thieves in this town?
There isn't a going rate for snark, I'll tell you that. But yes. Not enough for a horse or a gun, but enough for a few bottles of whiskey.
I'm more of an ale man, but thank you kindly. Get everything you need?
Sure did. I got these fancy metal detectors that should be able to locate gold better than a hound sniffing out a blood sausage. I got some drinks, too. But I heard some commotion outside. Were you a part of that?
You can say that, I guess. A horse got stolen, I returned it, and the thief was so kind to give me this map. Apparently it leads you to the location where a vicious yet expensive band of bears live.
Probably not as much as gold, but where there's coin to be made. But we must not waste any more time. Fortune awaits. Yes, this is the spot. And I can feel it in my bones.
Never knew there was gold out in these parts. Thought it was mostly silver.
Don't be fooled. There's gold everywhere in this country. That's what I love about America. You can go from rock bottom to sky high overnight.
If that was true, then I wouldn't be out here in the middle of nowhere with the likes of you, searching for theoretical gold so I can pay off my expenses. And remember, I get half of what we uncover, even if it's just a flake.
You are a desperate man, Mr. Steele. I dread to think what made you that way.
That would be my daughter. I'm the only one she has now, and I can't even begin to care for her the way her mother did.
If you're so concerned about money, why don't you unholster them guns and provide some services for payment like you did before your time as an outlaw?
Because now I ain't just an outlaw. I'm an only parent, first and foremost. If I get shot on the job, then my little Ava will be an orphan.
Remind me to never marry or have a family. Sounds like it adds rules to making money, and I'd personally like to keep all my doors open.
I hardly know you. So what makes you think I'll stick around long enough to see a day where a real woman actually wants to betroth you? Hell, I could be waiting till the end of time.
Very funny.
Huh. Wonder who your previous owner was. It's not gold, but it should prevent me from going blind.
Hey, what are you sodbrains doing out here? This is our prospecting spot.
Really? I didn't see a sign with your names on it. And what makes you so certain there's gold here? There's nothing out this deep in the desert.
Wait a second. I know you. You're Geoffrey Brown. You swindled a fella I knew in the big city. Selling a worthless bar of iron you painted gold, claiming it was pure 20 carats.
What can I say except it's his own fault for believing me?
You know, why don't we all put our guns down and come to an understanding? We're all fools, coming on in the middle of the desert looking for gold that might not even exist. But if it does, why don't we search together? 8 eyes are better than 4.
That's a good one. I don't know who you are, fella, but this one here will hoard anything he finds for himself.
I promise you, he won't. None of us need to die here, and as a show of good faith, we've got some liquor at least.
I'll be watching you like a hawk, though.
Mr. Steele, on behalf of the state of Kansas, I am here to arrest you for conspiring with an enemy of the United States government. I suggest you come out with those holsters filled and your hands up. The bounty poster says you can be alive or dead, so do not think I will hesitate to shoot you.
Yeah, you obviously didn't hesitate with those fellas. How'd you even find me?
Let's just say that carriage is an eye catcher.
What can I say except it's, eccentric?
Listen closely. You're gonna need to stand up and walk out of here, then I'll shoot him while he's distracted.
What? Me?
Do you have a gun, Geoffrey? No. So yes, you!
Growing impatient.
Take me in, sir. Good lord, you actually shot him!
I don't like this. We gotta go back east. Ava might be in danger. Come on, you fool, before I leave you out here.
Slow down, will ya? Those horses are alive, you know.
I have a nasty feeling my kid may not be if we don't hurry. I didn't think bounty hunters would follow me all the way out here so soon. How far west do I have to go to be free? The Pacific Ocean?
What about that fella you trust?
Kevin? He's more into books than guns. But I've tested his shooting skills. Nowhere near crack shot, but not terrible. He was an acquaintance of my wife. They both worked for the paper. When he heard about what happened, he quit his position. And one day, I ran into him in McCook. Next thing you know, he's sharing our four walls.
Sounds like a nice fella. I look forward to meeting him.
Ava! Kevin! You here?
Beautiful place you got here. Remote, quiet, quaint. Everything an outlaw such as yourself needs.
I quite agree. But it's none of those things anymore. Actually, my lake now. So is this cabin.
Agent Monti. I suppose you didn't come all the way out here just for a fishing trip at my lake?
I promise she won't face the news, if you face it for her.
What have you done with my kid?
Please, save the drama. I arrested her as well as your friend. And you're next.
You didn't answer the goddamn question. Where is she?
She was an accomplice living with a known criminal.
She's a kid, Monty. You have no right.
The law dictates so I can drag her into this.
Clearly you didn't know me a lot when you hired me. Cause what horse kicked you in the head to make you think I would massacre a whole lot of natives who've done me no harm?
Money and your family's safety. Thought that much was clear.
All that's clear is my wife is dead, and my child is kidnapped because of you.
Mr. Monti, sir. I was wondering, am I considered an accomplice to this man's crimes? I only drove him here.
What? Who the hell is this, Mr. Steele?
Like the man said, my chauffeur. And he doesn't need to pay a price for my actions. And neither does my daughter.
Then be a good father and turn yourself in. She may never see you again, but she'll live.
You government dogs are only out for your hollow pride and your pocketbooks.
You're a smart man, Mr. Steele. It's really unfortunate you made a dumb choice. But the truth is, you can't trust me.
Then you can trust me to do this. Answer my question, I'll let you walk. Where did Monty take my daughter?
How am I supposed to know? I just shoot for him.
Don't blindly shoot everything he tells you to, though. Like a man who's had his daughter unjustly taken from him. Now, where is she?
Look, I have a wife. I promised both of us I wouldn't widow her. Just don't kill me, please.
Then you'll understand what it's like to have the balance of your family in danger. From family man to family man, where's my daughter?
I heard Monty say she was temporarily being held in Diamond Hill with a bunch of other criminals before being transferred. That's all I know, I promise.
Diamond Hill? That's...
In Kansas, where I'm wanted.
But you're wanted here now, too.
Ugh. I suppose you're right. Run off to your wife before Monty kills her, too.
Thank you, sir. Never met a man that goes from aiming to kill to offering mercy on a dime.
It's not you I'm after. It's Monty. And if you see your boss again, warn him. I'm coming for him.
I will. But actually, sir, as a token of your goodwill, you may take my horse. He's loaned to me by the government, so he's not my personal one. I'll just say he got killed while trying to escape you.
Then how will you get back with your injury?
There's a town not that far where I can flash my badge and have him take me back, free of charge.
Well, alright then. Stay safe out there, partner. And thank you for the horse.
Call me Mr. Tanner.
So what now?
So now I go to Diamond Hill. Back to Kansas. You can head up back east. Searching for gold. I just need to find my daughter.
I'd like to come with you.
Are you sure? You seem like the man who pisses his pants at the first sound of a gunshot. I can assure you that Monty will label you as an accomplice if you ride with me.
I'm sure. I feel like it's my fault that Uriva and Kevin got taken. Because the truth is, I doubted there was gold out there, but I was hopeful. I knew we might encounter those fools who are now dead, and you seem like a man that can handle a revolver. So I convinced you with the unbeatable allure of money, and dragged you away from here, leaving it open for Monty and his dogs. Helping you get them back now is all I can do to make it up.
Well, that's really touchy. But you're gonna need to learn how to shoot a gun then. Luckily, I have a few spares.
I still don't get why we had to sell my carriage, though. My privates, they don't agree with this saddle.
Well, as pretty as it was, we couldn't be riding around that thing anymore. It drew too much attention. Plus, now we both got horses.
I've always liked watching rodeos, but I never fancied being a part of any of them.
Just 'cause you're riding a horse doesn't mean it's a rodeo.
Quiet. I've had more than a basket full of excitement in these past 2 days, between getting shot at twice, running into government agents, wrapping a loaded holster around my waist, and riding this horse for 50 miles. And I feel like I've earned the right to call this adventure whatever I want.
Now, Geoffrey, if guns go off while we're there, don't get alarmed. I'm highly wanted in these parts. It's stupid of me going back, but what choice do I have?
Then I think it's best if you leave the talking to me. The hotel owner and I go back, and if anyone knows if a prison transport has come through Valentine, it's him.
Good. And when you're addressing me, just call me Roy Hunter. I think I might just go to the saloon and have a drink to ease my nerves.
Sounds like a plan. See you at the saloon.
What brings you to Diamond Hill, partner?
Not the company, that's for sure.
My feelings are wounded. Can't a man share a drink with another?
Suppose not.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm here. My partner was arrested in Magnolia for stabbing a fellow who honestly deserved it. And supposedly, every convict between the Rockies and the Mississippi River comes through Diamond Hill before being transferred to a permanent prison.
Is that so?
So as a crocodile biting a man's leg clean off, and the flat-faced post clerk in this town claimed, several prison wagons carrying a load of men and apparently a girl left about an hour ago. I bet my shining pistols my part was a part of that convoy.
Girl, are you sure about this, friend?
Pretty damn sure. Why?
Tell you the truth, I'm looking for a girl wrongfully arrested myself. She got, mistaken with someone else, and their family is paying me to track them down.
Well then, Mr.
I never do anything first, pal, on the account of protecting my back.
Very well, Randy Rogers.
Well then, Mr. Rogers, I'm Roy Hunter. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure will be mine when we go break our quarries out of prison. Ford up north from here. I assume that iron on your hip isn't just for show.
It isn't, but his is. Hello, Mr. Brown.
Roy, I've uncovered some most beneficial news.
Who's Tubby?
Who's Loudmouth?
Mr. Rogers, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, Mr. Rogers.
It don't look like you're that comfortable wearing that revolver, Mr. Brown. Which leads me to believe you won't be joining us in our assault on Fort Jones.
Fort Jones? But that's up north. What's he talking about, Roy?
Mr. Rogers says a prison convoy left town due north around an hour ago, and there was a girl among the criminals.
Huh. Well, I just spoke to Mr. Downberry at the hotel, and he said another load of prisoners just left town a day ago, heading south to Fort Turner. He didn't mention anything about a girl, though.
So 2 forts and a 50-50 chance of your missing girl and my friend being on either one of them? It's up to you, Mr. Hunter.
Fort Jones. Randy said there was a little girl in the prison wagon. That has to be her. What child besides the one we know would be thrown into jail? And if she was only here an hour ago, there's a chance we can catch up to them before they even reach the fort.
You sure about that decision, Roy? Mr. Downberry didn't say nothing about a wagon coming through today. And why would 2 transports come through only a day apart? It's a lousy schedule.
Many complications can arise when dealing with criminals. There could be a prison riot. Accomplices may need to be moved away from their large posse members.
He's right, Geoffrey. You wanted to help me find her? Then let's all go to Fort Jones now with the dead intent of making everyone there dead.
A beautiful plan if I ever heard one. Cowpoke.
So, what's the plan when we arrive? Just walk up to the front gate and demand they release 2 prisoners?
Exactly. We tell them we're fixing on killing everyone inside, just for the 2 we want.
3, actually. I forgot to mention the child's caretaker was also arrested.
I won't question any further.
Two of you against an entire fort of trained soldiers?
No, the 3 of us against an entire fort of trained soldiers? Don't think you're coming along just for the scenery, Mr. Brown.
But I never shot anyone before.
Why are you even riding with an idiot who has never fired a gun before in his life, Roy?
Supposedly, he's a good moneymaker, but that has yet to be determined.
I assure you, Mr. Hunter, even if it's the last day we see each other, we will find gold.
Aha, I see. A prospector. Men who waste their lives away chasing after treasure that only exists within their rotting heads.
Shut up. I shall have you know that I've found gold 11 times exactly across the country within 20 years I've been here in the business. Though I'm highly considering moving down to South America in search of more. For the past several years, my luck has run bone dry.
Calm down, both of you. We can discuss our plans for the rest of the days ad nauseum after we survive this.
There she is. Let's hold up here. Looks like there's several guards on top. We can either snipe them off from here, or just shoot them up close and personal. Though I highly suggest we just walk up. They won't even gun us down on the spot. And I wager we're faster draws than any grunt soldier.
I'd rather take my chances back here than up close. They aren't gonna know what hit them. Then we'll go in.
Oh, thank goodness.
Looks like we need to blast the door open. Luckily, I always carry around some dynamite. Here, Geoffrey, don't blow yourself up.
Me? Alright. I'll do my best.
Impressive shooting, Mr. Hunter. I can see why that's your name.
What about me? Didn't I do a good job?
You did all right for you, but where are the prisoners?
Follow me. They should be just over here.
You've done superb, bounty hunter. You brought them to me just like I told you all to.
Excuse me?
You see, after a little encounter, I informed every bounty hunter I could in Kansas that if Raymond Steele was found, bring him to me at Fort Jones, or advise me of a more desired spot for a trout. Circumstances bearing, and here we all are.
Apologies, cowpoke.
So you just killed your own men? Casting them off like pawns only to get to me?
I thought to myself, one man isn't capable of taking down a small army, but I suppose you aren't just one man, Mr. Steele. It's a shame you couldn't have displayed such ferocity when you were actually paid to.
For the last time, they didn't deserve that kind of fate, Monty. Neither does my daughter or Mr. Brown here.
Can we wrap this up, please? My palms are itching.
Simmer down, Mr. Rogers. You will receive what's due once we get them both behind bars. And I promise, your daughter won't have to watch you swing, Mr. Steele.
You see, Agent Monty, I'm not going anywhere with you until you can prove that my daughter is safe and will be set free.
Is free really safe, though, in this country? With outlaws, bandits, thieves, and killers like you infecting it? She's honestly probably better off in the cell than being an orphan in such a lawless land.
I'll take that as a no, then.
Get back here, Mr. Steele.
Geoffrey, you coming? I'm sorry, Geoffrey. I'll be back for you.
The law always has the last word, Mr. Steele. Why do you think this country is standing still? You can't escape justice forever.
To the town of our Freel rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more.